What's up guys, Dirk here from intelligentcryptocurrency.com. Welcome to another video where I'm going to share with you how I would personally invest $1,000 into cryptocurrencies for 2020 and beyond. We're also going to have a look at whether or not it's still possible to take $1,000 and actually turn that into $1 million in the next crypto bull run. So if you're new to the channel, my name is Dirk, and on this channel I share all things cryptocurrency in a no BS, no hype, no clickbait style way, as much as possible anyways, and to share with you my insights and experience that I've gained about cryptocurrencies over the past few years of doing this full time. If this is something that you're interested in, then consider subscribing to the channel below. It's 100% free. All you need to do is click subscribe, click the notification bell after you do so you do get notified when I publish a new video. Now, I also run a competition every single video where all you need to do is smash the like button and leave a comment, and then once this video gets more than 50 likes, 50, I give away $50 worth of Ethereum to a random commenter. So, smash the like button, leave a comment, and stand a chance to potentially win some Ethereum. Now, in today's video, I want to share my thoughts a little bit about which cryptocurrencies I would buy and hold, what my strategy would be. And I think this is more of a video geared towards people who are more new to cryptocurrency. So if you are more new to the space, or you don't own any cryptocurrencies or anything like that, this video is more for you. But if you already own cryptocurrencies and you're already experienced in the space and you just want to hear what I have to say, well, grab a drink and stick around, because I'll try and make it as entertaining and educational as I can. Now, before we do get started, as always, I am not a financial advisor, so I can only share my own personal opinion. I can't tell you what to do with your money. I don't want to tell you what to do with your money. You make your own decisions, take your own risk. Crypto is highly volatile and it could go to zero. Now, the nice thing I like about cryptocurrencies is that it's called an asymmetric bet. So basically what that means is the downside is limited to what you put in. You put in $100, you risk $100. You put in 1,000, you risk 1,000, and so on and so forth. But the upside has an exponential nature. So instead of only putting in 1 unit and being able to get 1 unit or 2 units in return, you can actually have an upside of 50x, 100x, and in some cases, rare cases, potentially even 1,000x. So that means every dollar could potentially turn into $100, or in extreme cases, maybe even as much as $1,000, which would actually have, in theory, that $1,000, if you get a potential 1,000x ROI, turn into $1 million. And we're going to dive into some examples a little bit later and to show you how these gains are possible like this. And I've actually made a video about the asymmetric nature of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I'll link to it up here. If you haven't watched that yet, go and watch it. The link will also be in the description below. But basically, the thing with cryptocurrencies is they have this exponential upside and a limited downside. So because of the risk with cryptocurrencies, okay, they are highly volatile, it's highly speculative, it's still for the large part unregulated. So it is a very high risk place to put any money. So you have to consider any money that you put in there to be complete play money or risk money. And that's why a lot of professionals, they only recommend risking single digits of your net worth, right? So like Paul Tudor Jones, the billionaire, came out recently and said he was going to put 1% of his fund's assets in Bitcoin, actually Bitcoin futures, but still exposed to Bitcoin. So that's only 1%. Some other people might go 2 or 3 or 4 or 5%. But basically the idea is here, you want to keep it low. So in the worst case, you might only lose 5% of your entire net worth, which isn't the end of the world. If you have other investments in a diversified portfolio and you have income streams, then even if you lose that 5%, you should be able to make up for it with the other investments and income streams. But on the flip side, if it does go well and you make a return of 10x, right, on that initial 5%, well then that's 50% gain of your overall net worth. If you do a 20x from that 5%, you basically double your entire net worth. And that is the beauty of cryptocurrencies. So how would I invest $1,000 in the cryptocurrency markets? And for me, basically there's two answers, and it depends on what I'm looking to achieve. So if I want something that's very set and forget, something where I put my $1,000 into and I don't look at it for the next year or 2 years. I don't have to worry. I'm not going to be actively trading or keeping up with the news or anything like that. I'm basically going to choose a different portfolio versus if, I want to have a bit of a gamble with this $1,000. I don't care if it goes to zero, but I'm going for all in, So I want 100x returns, or 50 or 100, 200x returns, and I'm going to take much more risk with that $1,000, meaning I'm much more likely to lose it, but I'm okay with that because I'm either going to lose it or I'm going to make boatloads of money, right? So there's two different strategies, and based on those two strategies, well, then we can do one of the following, and let me hop over into my computer to basically share this with you. So before we dive into the various scenarios, I actually said there were two, but there's going to be three. I'm going to do low risk, medium risk, and high risk. Just three potential scenarios, what I would personally do with my portfolio if I had $1,000 to invest. And of course, you can change the amount. It can be $100, it can be $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, $100,000, whatever. This is just personally what I would do with my allocations based on the three risk strategies. And after that, I still want to show you some examples, and we're actually going to have a look at whether or not it is still possible to turn $1,000 into $1 million in the next bull run. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so let's start with the low risk, low maintenance portfolio. This is something that, and when I say low risk, it's still cryptocurrency. So just the fact that it's cryptocurrencies compared to any other asset class has a much higher risk because it is so volatile. But like I explained, it's an asymmetric bet. So assuming that I understand the risks and I'm only putting in single-digit percentage of my net worth, even in worst case, if it all does go to zero, it would suck, it would sting a little bit, but it's nothing I can't overcome. And with my other income streams and diversified portfolio and assets, basically it'll make up for that loss. So there's no big deal there. And if it does end up, increasing, well, then it can significantly move the needle on my whole net worth. So low risk, low maintenance. That's just for if I'd be looking for, just putting in a bunch of my savings, single digit net worth, but putting it in there and basically, buy and hold, not having to keep up with the news on a daily or weekly or even monthly basis. I'm putting it in there and, I'm prepared to hold this for many months, if not many years. What I would do is I would keep it very, very simple. I would put 50% into Bitcoin and 50% into Ethereum. The reason being that Bitcoin is the number one. It has the largest market cap. It has the largest brand recognition. It has the biggest computer network securing it, the longest track record, and so on and so forth. So, I think it's the safest bet that it's still going to be around in multiple years from now, and that it's probably going to increase. So Bitcoin, I would just put 50% into that. And Ethereum is the second biggest cryptocurrency by market cap. The crypto is Ether, and the platform, and that is what it is. It's a platform where a large part of the entire cryptocurrency space is built on top of Ethereum. Okay, so Bitcoin is basically like digital gold. You can compare it that way. And I don't think Bitcoin is really going to be used for day-to-day buying a coffee and so on and so forth. But Bitcoin can be seen as gold, where you purchase it, you hold it, and it's just your store of value. You can't build stuff on top of Bitcoin. That's why there is Ethereum. And there's other platforms, of course. But in this low-risk scenario, keeping it at Bitcoin and Ethereum, with the idea that Ethereum might actually outperform and probably will outperform Bitcoin in terms of percentage gains and growth over the next bull run as it has in the previous one. So by splitting it between Bitcoin and Ethereum, it still keeps it simple, but I'm exposing myself to both, increasing the average potential gain of the overall portfolio. And this is a very simple set and forget: buy Bitcoin, buy Ethereum, store it on a hardware wallet such as a Ledger or a Trezor, put it away, and boom, easy. I don't need to keep up with anything. Very, very easy peasy. Now, personally, I think Bitcoin and Ethereum have the chance to increase in price by 10x on the low end, potentially more, if cryptocurrency continues to grow, which I do expect it to do. So I do think there's a high chance that there is a possibility Bitcoin and Ethereum will do 10x. And maybe that won't be the 1000x. It's maybe not going to turn, probably won't turn $1,000 into $1 million. But if it can turn 1,000 into 10,000, or 10,000 into 100,000 and so on and so forth. Basically, that's a massive, enormous ROI compared to other traditional markets. And for a lot of people, that is really, really interesting already. And like I said, it's probably more of a low risk, low maintenance bet. Now, if I do want to chase gains and I want to be a little bit more risky, I also have a bit more time and energy to dedicate to cryptocurrency, to follow and stick with it and so on and so forth. Basically, what I can do is a bit of a different allocation. So a medium risk and medium maintenance, what I would do is I would put 25% in Bitcoin, 25% in Ethereum, but then I would split the remaining 50% of my portfolio into a few other altcoins that are higher risk but have much higher potential upside than Bitcoin or Ethereum. So the coins that I would choose for that is Icon, ICX, ARC, Engine, and WaxP. Now, I do currently have a review about Icon on my channel. I will link to it up here also. If you haven't watched that yet, you can see what it's all about. I will be working on creating reviews for ARC, Engine, and Wax over the next few weeks. So you'll be able to come back to the channel. If you subscribe and hit the notification bell, you'll also get alerted when I do put that out. But basically, Icon, big project in South Korea, working on interoperability, digital ID, and a whole lot of stuff. ARC, also working on deploying blockchains for enterprise, basically making it very easy for businesses or individuals to actually create their own blockchain without having to develop their own chain. So they basically build on top of ARC. Very solid project in my opinion. Engine and Wax, they're both in the gaming space, which I think is a very good and natural application for cryptocurrency and blockchain, and also especially working with non-fungible tokens. Like I said, I'll explain all of that when I make a review about those projects. But basically, this would be my allocation for a medium risk and medium maintenance kind of strategy, where it would change the potential upside, in my opinion, with my conservative kind of estimate on the low risk one being a 10x. With this medium risk one, I think we can bump that to 15, maybe 20x, which I think is possible in the next bull run. And then we can go and have a look at if I were to be a completely degenerate gambler and want to bet this $1,000 and not care if it goes to zero, my entire crypto holdings, whatever I decide to put in, let's keep it at $1,000. If I want to completely gamble with this in a way that it still actually has a decent chance, well then the high risk strategy that I would do is the following. So with the high risk strategy, I would completely not have any Bitcoin or any Ethereum in my portfolio, and I would be betting it all on altcoins that have a much higher risk. Like I said, they have a much higher chance of going to zero, but at the same time, the upside is much higher. So that really has the potential with, I think, where I'm going for higher risk is where it has potential to turn into 30, 40, maybe even 50x, right? Meaning that my $1,000 has the potential to turn into 30, 40, or $50,000, but it also has a much higher chance of going to zero. So keep that in mind. So my bets for the high risk portfolio would be ICX and ARC, each 30%. I think they have potential, even just if they go back to their previous all-time high, it is still a 20x for those, okay? Engine and WaxP, again, so this is not such a crazy portfolio. I'm not betting on complete random coins that have just listed that put DeFi in their name or anything like that. These are established projects that I think actually have a high chance of success, but at the same time, their risk is higher. And then the bottom three are three kind of new-ish ones with much lower market cap, but if they do succeed, their potential ROI is like 40, 50, maybe even 100x in some cases. So Funfair, it is basically gaming or gambling on the blockchain. Even if it goes back to the all-time high, at this point, it would be a 40x for fun to go back. SNTVT, so that's Centivate, I actually do have a review. I will link to it up here if you haven't seen that yet or know what the project is. Basically, it's working on a new form of making the internet work more scalable and faster with a browser, but not only just a browser, basically a whole new internet protocol. So again, if that does succeed, it has a tiny market cap. This one, I think, has 100x potential. Sol, Phantasma is the name of the project. I also made a review project or a review video of it. Again, I will link to it up here if you haven't seen it yet, and of course all the links in the description too, so you can go and check that out and find out more details about it. But again, I think Sol, low market cap, but I think huge potential, 30, 40, 50x, maybe even more. So the combination of these projects, which in my opinion are actually all still established projects with a decent chance of success, you know, this, even though it's higher risk, I think it has higher potential of maybe making 30, 40, 50x. Okay, so based on what I'd be looking for, whether it's low risk, medium risk, or high risk, these would kind of be my allocations to the different coins and different projects. And you can go even crazier than that. You know, there's people literally gambling on coins that came out with the word DeFi in it, or, you know, that are called yams or hams or spaghetti or whatever it is. And people are literally gambling on them. That's all that it is. It's not investing at all. It's a new project, and you know, some of these coins might get lucky in 10x or 20x or 100x, but that is basically, you know, it's like playing roulette, but instead of there being like 30 something numbers, there's like 2,000, and good luck getting one of them right. If you get it right, well, good for you, but chances are you're not going to get that. So I'm going to stay away from all of that stuff, and what I consider the high risk are still, in my opinion, very solid projects that still have a higher chance of success. But again, there's also a higher chance of risk. So please, this is my personal opinion. I'm not telling you to buy these coins. I'm not telling you to buy any coins or buy any cryptocurrency. Just go and do your own research and understand what the risks are before you get started. And like I said, the risk is basically whatever you put in, you got to have it willing to go to zero, which is why you probably shouldn't put in more than single-digit percentages of your net worth. Put it this way, right? So if we're keeping it at $1,000, like anyone can make an extra $1,000, right? Go and do some freelance work online. Go and write a few articles for someone. Go and mow lawns if you have to. Go and, you know, work a $10 an hour, $20 an hour job, whatever it is. Scrape together $1,000, and then there's no risk to it, right? Or instead of going out and partying or going to the restaurant, or maybe cut out on some subscriptions, take that money that you would have normally spent anyway on something useless, on something entertainment or food or something like that, and instead just put it into crypto. Then you're really not risking any additional money, any capital, right? Because you would have spent it on a meal and it would have been gone. Sure, you would have enjoyed the meal, but afterwards, you know, whatever. So if you can not go out and eat in restaurants, which during this time probably isn't that hard anyway, probably eating at home anyway. So save that money, maybe sell something. You have that, put it into crypto, and then the risk is basically zero, right? So you always want to approach it from that way. Always reduce your risk, always minimize your risk. So that is basically how I would invest $1,000 in low, medium, and high risk. Now, coming back to the question, can you actually turn $1,000 into $1 million with cryptocurrencies in the next bull run? And for this specific question, what I want to do is I want to show you this chart of a cryptocurrency called Lend, or AVE, actually, AAVA. The ticker symbol is Lend for now. There will be rebranding to AVE soon enough. But this is the chart on a weekly chart. And you can see in 2018, it had a massive spike. They launched in late 2017, and the all-time high at the time was about 48 cents. You can see right now it is trading at 72 cents, and it went as high as 78. Let's see what it is. Yeah, 78.68 at this point in time. But it wasn't long ago, last year in September, right? In September last year, you can see the low was 0.004 cents. So it went from 0.004, so literally half a cent, to 0.78. So if we put this into the calculator and we say 0.78 divided by 0.004, that is 195x. So by having bought Lend at the low in September last year, 1 year ago, it could have turned $1,000 into $195,000. Now that is a pretty insane ROI, and that is recent. That is not something 3 years ago or 5 years ago or whatever the case is. That is now. That is what happened. And this, in my opinion, will continue to happen. There will be more coins. This is not the only coin that is going to do these kind of ROIs. There will be more coins that will have crazy, crazy returns. And Is it possible to turn it into $1 million? I don't know. I don't think there's going to be many coins that will do 1,000x. Now, there might be some. There might be some projects that have yet to launch that from their initial launch or their ICO or their pre-sale or their first trade or the lowest trade might go up over time 1,000x. But it is not very likely. And like I said, you have thousands of cryptocurrencies that are there to choose from. How are you going to choose the right one? And are you going to put all your money into that one? The chances of that happening is actually close to zero. But technically what is possible is there are many different coins that are doing 5x or 10x. So technically it would be possible if you put your $1,000 into a coin that does 10x, you turn it into 10,000, then you take that 10,000, put it into another coin that does 10x, turn it into 100,000, and then you take that 100,000 and you put it into another coin that does 10x. Well, then you have your $1 million from an initial $1,000. So in theory, it is possible, but again, it is very, very unlikely that you're going to be able to choose 3 consecutive 10x return coins in a row and be able to do that. And even if you do manage to get one and you turn it into 10 grand, okay, you take that 10 grand and you put it into another one. Let's say you get lucky a second time. Very unlikely statistically, but let's just say it does happen and you turn it into 100 grand. Are you really going to take that 100 grand and risk it going back to 50 or even zero in order to turn it into $1 million, right? That is the question. And the answer to that is probably no, because if you can turn 1,000 into 100 grand, well, hey, that's pretty nice. 100 grand is a lot of money from $1,000. So are you going to be able to turn $1,000 into $1 million in the next bull run? Theoretically, it is possible, but it is very, very unlikely. And you shouldn't be aiming for that. But can $1,000 invested into cryptocurrency turn into significant amounts of money? The answer is absolutely yes. 1,000 could turn into 10, 20, 30, 50, or like you saw with Lend, even $195,000, which is absolutely insane. If you can turn $1,000 into 195 grand, and like I said, if that $1,000 was basically just something you were going to spend in a month going out or whatever it is, and instead you decided to put it into a project that you believe in or a cryptocurrency that you believe in, well, the potential ROI on that is insane. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some insights on the possibilities, the different strategies that are out there, and the massive asymmetric bet that cryptocurrencies provide with enormous upside potential, and the limit is only you risk what you put in. You have to understand though, cryptocurrencies are not a sure thing. They are not guaranteed to go up. In fact, even from these levels, it could continue to go down. There's no guarantee that a bull market starts today. There's no guarantee that in a year from now we're going to be higher. While it does look like that, and the cycles and history points towards that, again, who knows? It could crash from here, and it could continue to go lower for many, many years. Could also go to zero. So please do understand this. Do take this into consideration before investing any money or betting any money, should I say, because it is highly risky on cryptocurrencies. So if you did enjoy this video, again, and you're not subscribed yet, I would ask you consider subscribing below. It's 100% free. Click the notification bell after you do subscribe, and smash the like button. Leave a comment on this video to stand a chance to win $50 in Ethereum. Now, before I let you go, I do want to let you know, if you want to know more about cryptocurrencies and you want to learn more and you want to understand more, I have a premium education membership and a private community on Discord where you get access to myself and all other members. So basically, what this contains is every single month I write a 25-page newsletter with my insights, research of the cryptocurrency markets to help keep you up to date and to share what I think is going on. Then every single month, I also do a video update. So basically where I break down everything, I look at charts, I look at news stories, I put it all together, and I hand that to you on a silver platter. Additionally, I've got an entire cryptocurrency for beginners course inside the members area. It's an 18-lesson course, step by step, getting you up to speed on all things Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, exchanges, how to buy, where to buy them, how to store them. All of that stuff is covered in an over-the-shoulder style training in the beginner's course. I've also got another course, 20 lessons about technical analysis and trading, teaching you how to read charts, how chart patterns work, how to trade, how to manage your money. All that kind of stuff is covered inside that course, which you get access to as well. And then finally, like I mentioned, we have a private chat group, a Discord chat group, where you get access to myself personally and all the other members all around the world who are invested in cryptocurrency, stocks, real estate, and basically a helpful, positive community to share information and help you get your questions answered. I also answer all your questions personally, so once you're in there, you can just ask me questions, ask the members questions, and get everything answered. So basically, the best place where you can go to learn about cryptocurrencies in a safe and fun community. And if you want to learn more about that, all you need to do is go to intelligentcryptocurrency.com, or basically click the first link in the description below. You'll be able to get all the details and you'll be able to sign up as a member, which works out to less than the price of a daily cup of coffee at Starbucks. So if you want to join and you want to learn more about crypto, this is really a no-brainer. As always, thank you for watching. I hope you subscribe to the channel below, smash the like button, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.